Hi guys, today we're gonna go into Human Rights Museum. Yeah, I love Human Rights Museum. I wanna draw a pretty picture. That will be in part 2. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's press that button. Alright, we're in. So we're gonna go at the second floor. Yep. That's... Okay, so we're just going. Okay, so let's go to a theater. Yeah. Alright, so we're here. Moosey. Okay, so we're here. Here, Rabbi, Gerald, with a J.
Après avoir passé la nuit en prison, Viola Desmond comparait devant les
Let's sit down here
She's
and
not
watch a
given her
movie.
rights. She's not told she can have
Let's watch a
representation. And she was found guilty.
Nobody admitted it was about race segregation. It was all just about tax evasion.
Oh my God. There's the newspapers
le
about
jugement en
her.
appel avec le soutien d'importants membres de la communauté noire d'Halifax. Au bout du compte, l'affaire se retrouve devant la Cour suprême de la Nouvelle-Écosse qui refuse de renverser le verdict.
She described herself as bitterly disappointed.
The impact on her was severe. Before this incident, she was just somebody in the prime of her career. She could go very far. It seemed like it all stopped on that day.
Viola Desmond renonce à son rêve d'avoir une chaîne de salons de beauté. Son mariage se désintègre et elle finira par quitter Halifax.
She's clearly a heroine, but it's not easy for heroines. She paid a great deal, personally, for this case.
I think Viola Desmond's impact
It's
on
tickets
racial
for the movie.
inequality
We already
was a great
bought
one.
those tickets.
It opened up the doors and gave people that opportunity to say, you know what, we're going to stand up and we're going to fight for our rights.
Durant les décennies suivantes, des groupes comme le Front Noir Uni et l'Association pour l'avancement des personnes de couleur de la Nouvelle-Écosse ont continué de lutter pour l'égalité des droits des Noirs au Canada. En 2010, la lieutenant-gouverneur Mayanne Francis accorde à Viola Desmond un pardon absolu à titre posthume. Ainsi, le gouvernement reconnaît qu'elle a été condamnée à tort.
That's so
It
sad.
took all these years for a woman of color to free her. And my only hope is that she's at
I
peace.
think we just missed one. We're just gonna watch again. Just wait until... Oh, it started. Challenge. Fallen Gemino's challenge to wrestle. And
November 8th, 1946. Viola Desmond, an entrepreneur from Halifax, is on a business trip when her car breaks down in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
wow.
Forced to stay overnight, Desmond decides to pass the evening at the movies. She buys her ticket and enters the downstairs auditorium.
The ticket seller followed her into the theater and stopped her and said, "You can't sit here. You can't sit with me."
I think
She
it's
went back
somewhere in
and she said, "I'd like the
1887.
main floor ticket, please." And the white ticket seller said to her, "We don't sell main floor tickets to you people."
In a spontaneous decision, Desmond turns and enters the downstairs theater.
It looks like a
The
train.
manager is called, and a policeman.
She's very small, very feminine.
That's that
very
woman who's on the
elegant.
picture.
And this white, burly police officer grabbed her by the shoulders and physically dragged her out of the theater onto the street.
She's thrown in
Aw.
jail, and she's left there for 12 hours.
12
She was probably in a
hours?
state of shock. I mean, you're stunned. What could I have done to deserve this?
In 1946, Viola Desmond is a woman ahead of her time. She owns a hair salon, a beauty school, and her own line of beauty products.
She was a thriving businesswoman. Her own car, her own shop, her own school. She had visions just to expand across the province.
But despite Desmond's personal success,
This is
racism
my
and
grandpa
discrimination
when he's
continuously undermine
young.
the
He
human
showed
rights
me
of
the
black
pictures when
Canadians.
he was in Canada.
Segregation means separate. And blacks and
Why is
whites
that
were
woman is
separate.
showing us things?
The
Hey,
racism in the
Mrs.
United
Woman,
States was
could you please
truly in
stop
your
doing that?
face. In Canada, the racism is very polite,
Wow.
sort of undercover.
Communities like Halifax's Africville are neglected, deprived of routine services given to white communities. Blacks are denied admission to businesses, and many schools and neighborhoods are segregated.
Wow.
But racist policies in Canada aren't fixed. They vary with the time, the place, and the context.
Some of the black people in Canada have said it was actually worse in some ways in Canada, because you never knew when you went into a restaurant or a theater was it segregated or not.
After spending the night in jail, Desmond is brought to trial the following morning.
She's not given her rights. She's not told she can have representation. And she was found guilty of defrauding the government of 1 penny.
1 cent. The difference between the upstairs and downstairs amusement tax.
And nobody admitted it was about race segregation. It was all just about tax evasion.
Desmond appeals with support from prominent members of the Halifax black community. Ultimately, the case goes before the Nova Scotia Supreme Court, which refuses to reverse the conviction.
Oh my gosh.
She described herself as bitterly disappointed.
The impact on her was severe. Before this incident, she was just somebody in the prime of her career. She could go very far. It seemed like it all stopped.
Gosh.
Desmond gives up her dream of a chain of beauty
Go away.
salons. Her marriage disintegrates, and eventually she leaves Halifax.
She's clearly a heroine, but it's not easy for heroines. She paid a great deal, personally, for this case.
I think Viola Desmond's impact on racial
Yeah, we already
inequality
bought those
was a great
tickets.
one. It opened up the doors and gave people that opportunity to say, you know what, we're going to stand up and we're going to fight for our rights.
In
Yeah,
the
we're
decades
gonna
that
fight for
followed,
our
groups like the Black United Front and the Nova Scotia Association for the Advancement of Colored People continued the fight for black equality in Canada.
Oh my gosh.
In 2010, Lieutenant Governor Mayanne Francis gives Desmond a
Oh my
posthumous
God.
free pardon, an admission by the government that she was wrongly convicted.
It took all these years for a woman of color to free her. And my only hope is that she's at peace.
Wow. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, you like and subscribe to see more videos. Bye. Bye.